Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our Sunrise Birding for Life. I'm the Reverend Dr. Laura Kim Jr., and as you can see, we're a little bit cool here today in Winsboro, South Carolina. Today is the 9th of December. We're in our 12th week of autumn. We're coming into winter and the winter solstice coming up. Sunrise today is at 7:19, so we're not quite there yet, and we're not going to see it. It's just been gray and rainy here for the last week or so. What's the weather like where you are? The moon is comes up at about 10:30. It's waning gibbous. So we won't be able to see the moon either today. There we go. That's what's happening. If it was a clear day, we might have seen Mercury rising in the east, and Venus is behind the sun. So when the sun comes up right over here, this is where we're going to be looking for. It's behind the sun. So we're not going to be seeing Venus right now either. What is really cool is the Geminid meteor shower is happening through December. It peaks on the night of the 13th. And so you want to be looking about where Jupiter is. It's in that area, and Jupiter rises about 7:46 in the evening here. And so you want to be looking as it rises and goes over to the west. So that's just wonderful. So what are the stars and the moon doing where you are right now? So as I said, we're here in Winsboro, South Carolina. It was the land of the Catawba indigenous people who are dispersed and much less than they used to be here, but they're still here celebrating their culture. And the Carolina parakeet used to be here, but they are extinct. They are no more. So what is going on with animals and peoples in your area? Who used to be where you are, or is in diminished numbers, or maybe in greater numbers than ever before? To hold the beauty and to hold the tragedy and to keep oppression at its lowest. That's why we gather here for this practice in building this community. So what are the birds doing in your area? I'm a little frustrated this morning. We've had a yellow-bellied sapsucker and goldfinches and white-throated sparrows, but I haven't been able to see them. They're off in the trees, and there's not a lot of light right now. We also have had some unusual sightings of snow geese here in South Carolina. Apparently, they do come here. And there's some American black ducks around. They look an awful lot like mallards to me. So if I see any birds, if I can spot that yellow-bellied sapsucker, I will interrupt myself and you can interrupt me as well. So today our theme is journey. So let's read the poem Journey by Mary Oliver. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices kept shouting their bad advice, but little by little you left their voice behind. And there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own. It kept you company as you strove deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life that you could save. We save ourselves by what we do. We save ourselves by birding, and not just ourselves, but the planet, the people, and the beings here. Epic journeys usually have a hero that goes on an arc of their lives, and we're all heroes of our own lives. Things happen to us, people happen to us, events happen to us, and our journey is called life. Each of us is a hero to do the hard work that we do. And so to recall that our life is a heroic journey can bring power to what we do today with a little bit of intentionality, such as birding. Who knows what possible endings and plot twists might come to our lives. Soon, leaving tomorrow, we're going to be going on a parrot pilgrimage in Nicaragua, walking around the island of Ometepe. And our theme there too will be journeys. And we will be walking. It's about 30 miles around the island. I'll do 5 miles or so a day, probably a little bit less. And we'll be doing reflectings, much like what we do here. And we'll be supporting each other as we go because we're trying to bring the awareness of the beauty of this earth and the tragedy, the endangered critically endangered yellow-naped Amazon parrot that our friends and partners there are striving to protect. And it's tough there. Although it's a beautiful island, Nicaragua is a dictatorship with severely curtailed freedoms. So walk with us. Today we'll start off and we'll also be live on Facebook. So even if you're not one of the 19 people there, you can walk with us by checking out on Facebook. Why don't we just pause a moment? It's been an awful lot of talking. Let's just breathe in and look. The camera is facing pretty much southeast right now, and the sun would be up. It would be peeking up over those mountains, but we don't quite have it. So let's just pause a bit here now. We next move on to our time of what we do together is science and transformative conservation. We want to be talking about that. So do science today. Walking is good for us. You can look it up on the internet, but it causes even if you don't want to go for a walk, you still reap the same health benefits, mental, physical, spiritual, reduces stress, improves relationships. So going out walking is really good for us. And as we walk, we can think about, can breathe deep and listen to the chatter going on in our minds and let it go. And imagine that we are walking with the whole world. So let's think about walking birds, shall we? Let's womp a little science on us here. Some birds walk. It tends to be the longer legged birds. It's more energy efficient for them to walk. And the smaller birds, a little more energy efficient to hop. And some birds do both, crows and robins and blackbirds, and some are almost entirely walkers. Well, what are some of those birds that are walkers? Well, in this area, it would be the turkey, the wild turkey here. They can fly for short distances, but they're really big walkers. They can cover 1 or 2 miles in a day as they walk around foraging, and sometimes up to 4 or 5 miles as they go about. We see them walking through here, but they tend to stay in one territory of about 1,000 acres. And we're so glad about the turkeys. They used to be endangered, but now there's about 7 million of them in North America. Yay! Now there's another bird that is entirely a walker, is completely flightless. That's the cockapoo on the islands in New Zealand. It's the heaviest parrot that we have. And it's a really unusual parrot in that the male doesn't help to raise the young, and it's a lek system of reproduction. That means the females go out looking for the male, and the male goes out looking for females. And he can mate with multiple females, but he doesn't help. They go off and raise the young to themselves. So he's out walking the mountainside, and they can sort of run a little bit too, or a fast walking gait. The males can walk up to 3 miles a day. You can imagine a parrot walking that much in a given day, and the females usually less, maybe 1 mile or half a mile a day. So there's one of our big walking birds, and it's critically endangered. There's less than 250 of them. There's a lot of people spending a lot of time with them. And then one more walking bird. Let's come back to the Americas and South America. This is the rhea, which I see in our conservation project in Paraguay all the time, and they're flightless and they walk. And we often see the males walking with a bunch of youngsters, and when they're really young, they're striped. And the male raises the young and protects them. So you might mate with multiple females, and they lay their eggs in a communal nest, and then he takes care of them. And they can walk, oh, I don't know, up to a couple miles a day. They're not really big walkers. They can do more when they gather in big groups, and they can run up to 40 miles an hour. It is near threatened, is its conservation status. Well, that's our science for today. Any other things you know about walking birds you would like to share? Our practice today is going to be walking. Walking is a form of meditation that people do, and we're going to be doing a lot of that during our pilgrimage. And with each step we take in our walks, we have a chance to grow. And we can help others do the same so that life can be guarded and witness can be given. The indigenous people say it's the Navajo way of beauty, They have a poem, a chant, a ritual where they say, we walk in beauty, we walk in beauty. Before us, behind it, beauty is all around, above us. It is in the grasshoppers and it's in the pollen. It is in the pine oak forest. It's in the meadows. It's in the birds calling the trees. We walk in beauty. We walk in beauty. So that's what we're going to do today. Our little practice. We're just going to walk for a little bit. You can pause the video, go outside and walk, and come back. I'll just walk a little bit in silence, listening to the birds, listening to the wind in the trees, listening to my own heart, knowing that when I walk with all of the world. So let's just walk a little bit, shall we? Walk down to the meadow and back. All righty, here we go. It is finished in beauty. It is finished in beauty. It's from the Navajo way of beauty. Thank you for walking with me. Questions we might ask ourselves today to journal that we might ask of others. Can you describe your life experience as you're learning as if it was a journey? Think about events and characters. Draw it in a picture if you like. What does your life journey tell you about yourself and others? What journey are you on currently? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to journey? What have you learned along your journey? How have you helped others on the journey? And how have they helped you? Our time is at an end. We will take a break. So we'll see you in Nicaragua. We'll be back in December. We have a solstice service on the 21st here at One Earth Retreat Center. That you're welcome to join that by Zoom. We'll also record it. And let's continue to show up here so we can be a Birdie for Life community. And I'm going to end with these closing words from Roger Hammerstein's film Carousel. And remember, when you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. And don't be afraid of the dark at the end of a storm. There's a golden sky and the sweet silver sound of a lark. Walk on with hope in your heart, for you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.